Yay, there we go, finally. Attempt number 3, and everything works. Cool. So, if you guys are all watching this, welcome back to another episode of me just messing around. This is Shane. Um, yeah, I figured for a little bit I'm just going to build some vehicles in Banjo-Kazooie Nuts and Bolts. Really like this game. It's a fun game. A lot of people hate on it because it's not like normal Banjo-Kazooie, but personally, I don't care. It's fun. So, let's see. First, you have to have a seat. Seats are important. Um, don't need wheels yet. Powers are important too. Is that that's basically your engine. So I'm adding like super engines, some other random engines. Not sure what I'm gonna build yet. It's gonna be just kind of gonna play it by ear here. Should should be quite interesting to see what I actually decide on. And if this would work, this would be great. That's why. There we go. So far, basically, I've added a whole bunch of medium engines, a whole bunch of large engines. This thing's gonna be really fast. Now I just have to add some fuel. Fuel is also important. If you don't really have fuel, you can't do much. So just add in some random packets of fuel here and there. Why not? That should be all we need, really. Um, Now we can start going with the body. Once again, still have no idea what I'm going to make. I just start with an initial frame and then kind of go from there. And if it looks cool, I go with it. If it doesn't look cool, then typically I tend to trash it. But I mean, you never know. You could turn something uncool into something cool. It just takes a little bit of time, a little bit of patience, some imagination, not a whole lot, but some imagination. So like, I didn't like the way that was looking, so I'm just gonna change that up a bit, change all this up, just go something different completely. Yeah, I don't like that either. Sorry, just bear with me for a second. I'm just trying to get a feel for what is gonna look good on here. Going for more of a spaceship type design here. I think that'll look pretty cool. But so far, it's very simple. You place a block, and um, one really cool feature about this game that I really enjoy is if you make something off balance, um, the game knows. So if it's off balance, say I put a wing too far on one side, it's gonna start flying towards that side and kind of just fall out of the sky, and it won't be pretty. And then there's all these cool gadgets, which I personally really like the gadgets, especially like the detacher and the tow bar. These tow bars you can do a lot of cool things with. So I can um, I can have a little spaceship rocket or something up here, and I can make it to where. Well, actually, probably tow bars are a bad idea for that. I don't want more of a detacher. But basically, I can make a rocket boost up on the top here by just adding um, some jets, get some large jets, and have a crazy fast rocket boost up here. Add some smaller jets. And now this thing's like a really fast rocket. But the only problem with this is there's no fuel up there. So then you would have to add some fuel to that compartment, and that's only going to last for like maybe 15, 20 seconds with that much fuel. It's not a whole lot. But whenever you run out of the fuel up there, you can jettison the rocket, and you can fly normally with whatever vehicle you've got, which is pretty cool. They also have these awesome folding wings, which you can deploy whenever you want. You don't have to deploy them. So basically, you could have your vehicle as a ground vehicle, and you just attach these foldy wings, and then poof, now it's not a ground vehicle anymore. It's actually a plane. But you also need to add propellers if you want it to fly. And those are floaters. So yes, propellers, that'll make it fly. I don't like that placement there. So propellers are good. They also help with water. So if you're going anywhere in the water, they'll actually propel you forward, kind of like a boat. You could also make a boat. I mean, this game, you can make a boat, car, plane, spaceship, whatever you want to make. It's cool. It also has some interesting things as far as like drag and things like that. Also, different weighted blocks. So you have like heavy blocks, which make it heavier, gives it a little bit more defense. I'm at the point in the game where I can use super blocks, which are, in my opinion, the best, just because they're light. They don't take, or they're light. They're really strong, and they're pretty much an all around good block. So what I'm doing right now, I'm just adding different areas to make the wind resistance a little better. But let's strap some wheels to this thing, and we'll test it out, see how it performs. If it performs well, I might keep it. If it performs poorly, then I'll just make some modifications to it, and we'll see what happens. If it turns out to be really good, then we'll definitely want to keep it. But if it turns out to be horrible, then it's probably not worth it. So here's the testo track. You can test out your vehicles, see how they perform. But because I put the wheels in a weird spot, it kind of leans forward. But like I was saying, you can detach the jets and just have a simple plane. Doesn't take up as much fuel. And yeah, I mean I really enjoy this game. I don't know why everyone hated on it, except for the fact that it's not actually a Banjo-Kazooie game. It's more of a racing game. But I mean, racing games are fun, especially if it's create your own style racing game. So we'll just put those in there, test it out again. And now it can turn, it can do everything we need it to do. So now we have an actual usable vehicle. It's a little bit too fast at this point, so I just kind of crash into everything. But it'll do really, really good in the air. The only thing is it doesn't turn on a dime. So that's when if you lose the rockets, it turns a little bit better, but not a whole lot better. I mean, it's a work in progress still, but I think it'll turn out pretty decent once we're done with it. We just need to add a few more details here and there, a few more things, make it pretty. Then we can paint it. Painting's not always nice. I don't really think the rocket booster idea is going to work, unfortunately. Nah, that's not what I wanted. Just ignore that. Now I can select all this. There we go. Just delete it. So what my plan is right now is the way the air is hitting it, it's making it to where it doesn't turn as good. So what I need to do is I need to add a few more spots on here, try and get the wind resistance a little better. Also, it might be a little too heavy in the back, which could also cause some issues. Just gonna play around with that a little bit. Also, there's weapons, accessories. Accessories are fun. You can have like lights. They don't really do anything, but they look nice. So yeah, what I'm doing right now is I'm just trying to get as much wind resistance out of here as I possibly can. Which this should hopefully do that. It's been a while since I actually played around with all the mechanics and stuff as far as that goes. But I believe this should help it a little bit. And if it doesn't, try again. That's pretty much all you can really do. So basically, um, I'm making it more like a bullet, so the wind should just pass right over the pieces, and that should hopefully make the wind resistance a little bit better. Once again, I'm not sure if it's going to actually make a huge difference. It might. I really don't know. So it's just kind of one of those things that you play around with, test it. Maybe it will, maybe it won't. And I'm going to be doing a few of these just because I like nuts and bolts. I don't know if you guys like it or not, but I like it. It's a fun game. I like building things, so that's mainly why. But now, when we fly this thing, it turns a lot better. It goes up and down. It can dive better. Basically, the wind resistance changes a lot when you use wedges versus blocks. It also makes it a slight bit lighter, which is good because I think a wedge weighs like half of what a block weighs. But the ultimate test is if you can drive it on the water without any floaters and it floats, then you've done your job. Which, as of right now, mine does not. Which means I have to go back to the drawing board, figure out why it's not, and I think it's because of the front. So if I change out the way the front is, instead of having those that way, all I would have to do is take some more wedges, take the wedge here, flip it upright like this, and like this, like this, and like this. That should give me an uplift when I'm in the water, which should hopefully be enough to do what I need. Once again, we just test it out, see what happens. And if this thing flips over, it's really hard to get back upright. Now, as you can see, just with that little bit, let me get out of the water here. Just with that little bit in the front, you can make it to where it'll float on water because it has the uplift that it needs in the front. It doesn't have any turning radius or anything like that in the water, but you could use it in the water if need be. Now, what that did do is it created a little bit more drag on the front, so it takes a little longer to get up. That's not really an issue too much at this point in time. It's just, you know, once again, this is a vehicle for fun. I'm not building this to race. If I was going to build it to race, it wouldn't be anywhere near this clunky. I would have to build it a lot smaller. This is just, I wanted to build it because it looked cool, kind of thing. Not necessarily that it's going to win anything. I guarantee this will not win. It just looks really cool. That's all it is. And eventually I'll make it look even cooler. I can add some like rocket boosters and stuff to it. So what I'm actually going to try and do here now, wrong buttons, is I can go in and I can add detachers on the bottom again. So let's see, detacher. So add a detacher on the bottom, add a detacher on the top. Okay, now we can add some more of the jets. And what I can do here, which this will be really interesting, is I can make this into, well, I could, now I can't. Small, there we go. I can make it like an actual rocket ship, and I can build like a base around it. Once again, this is purely for fun. So, because it's for fun, it doesn't have to be practical in any sense. And since it doesn't have to be practical, guess what? It's not going to be practical. And that's my plan all along with this build. What we're going to do, now I need to actually go up a row on this. Not 2 rows, just 1. Sorry, my controller's been having some fits lately. It doesn't like me. So now we can actually use those tow bars that I was talking about. So with those, we have gadgets, tow bars are in here somewhere. There we go, above detacher. Sorry. So what we do, we place the tow bars on the engines. And now that'll hold it in place when we actually build the base of the rocket. There we go. Words. Words good. So what we do is we just build a slight base for it to sit on. Because what we're actually going to do when we get in here is we're going to flip it. Which I wish you could flip the entire build. I don't know if you can. You probably can. I've just never done it. I guess if I selected all of it, I could just flip it. But once again, I have never done that. I don't know how to do that. But you know what? We're here. Let's test it out. Why not? That highlights that entire section. This highlights this entire section. All you have to do is hold A. Now, if I... Okay, so the game did not like that. So don't try flipping an entire build. But what you can do... What? Okay, I can't read what's going on. There we go. Okay. So I'm not sure what just happened, but I might have just ruined the entire vehicle. So yeah, unfortunately for this vehicle that I just made, I broke the game by trying to flip it over. Um, so yeah, unfortunately, that's a thing that can happen that I didn't know about. And yeah, so word of warning: do not flip an entire creation once inside the screen, because I don't know if I can save this. Yeah, I can't even save it. Basically, I just destroyed the entire rocket that I made. So anyway, excuse me. That's I guess that's gonna be it for the first stream. We'll yeah, we'll try and make another vehicle on the next one. Hopefully, a better vehicle. And stay tuned. Thanks for watching. I'll be back in probably another 15, 20 minutes to try another one. And then if you don't catch this live, I'll be streaming again and again and again and again, and then I'll post them probably maybe every day this week, maybe every other week. I'm not sure. We'll figure it out. Anyway, thanks for watching. Stay tuned.